So a mala is sort of a great representation. It's like the rosary of consciousness for people that are on a spiritual path. There are 108 beads, and they represent 108 states of consciousness that human beings have the ability to access. So a mala actually is the representation of our relationship with God and our relationship with ourselves. So they represent all 108 streams of awareness and consciousness that we all have access to. You know, it's interesting, when I talk about a rosary, people quite quickly understand, because it is an intimate relationship with God. People pray. Well, in actuality, a mala, which is the 108 states of consciousness, is the same thing. It's a deep personal connection that we have with ourselves. So it's sort of the link that helps us concentrate our relationship in our prayers, in our daily lives, in our commitment to God, and so, or to the divine, whatever language is most comfortable for you. So a mala is the focusing point of union, of oneness, of one-pointedness between our commitment to ourselves, our inner journey, in our relationship with divine. It's interesting because I've ordered a lot of malas from a lot of different people. The reality is that most malas that people get, they are factory made. So you don't really get the infusion, you just get a product. Some things in which we own, you gravitate towards because there is an energy and there's a source, there's a force. In Eastern tradition they call it Shakti. There's an energy, there's a force that is alive. It's breathing on its own, and even though that sounds quite odd, but in reality, why do people gravitate to one thing compared to another? So malas are very sacred. They need to be alive to some degree. And so many malas in which I've ordered through time, you can feel that they're factory made. And even though they say that they're made by Tibetan monks and most of them are not. And you can sense that, you can feel that, you just know that. And these malas from late faith, there is so much energy and so much effort and so much caring and so much grace that is poured into these malas. They're all handmade. They're not factory made. They are infused with grace. These beautiful women sit on the beach and they make these malas. And so these malas are very special because you can feel that, you can sense that. I teach retreats, and when Lady Faith comes to display their malas, women gravitate to them. And that isn't something that you can just pretend, because if they were just factory malas, or just malas, just ordinary stones, these people wouldn't gravitate, because people don't lie and people's instincts don't lie. And so it's always wonderful to see, when I see Lady Faith in a public arena, how people gravitate, because instinctively people know it, they feel it, they sense it, and it becomes something sacred for them immediately. It's always wonderful to watch.